Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. We're about to kick off the class. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Good job, Terminator. You're the first one in. Big ups. Good job. We're all set. We've got some kayaks over here. That's what we're going to park you guys next to. You know where we are and you know what we're doing today. All right, get ready for class here. Let me screw you guys into your little holster. Cool. Good morning. All right, hopefully that works for you guys. Let me get you all plugged in here. Cool. All right, there you go. Now you're set, people. Hopefully this won't suck. Try to make it painless. We'll get you through this quickly. I promise. All right, are you guys coming into class or what? Some of you are late. All right, good. A bunch of you are on here. Does anybody care if I live stream this today? Is that okay? All right, cool. We're going to have... Blur your face out? Yeah, 10-4. We got a secret operator in here, everybody. Let me not blow up his spot. So I'm going to stand right here, everybody. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry to just crash your party as soon as you sat down. Yeah, just give me this right here. Unless you want me up here, so you guys can sit here. I mean, we could do that too. Tell me what's better. You guys will be twisted, right? Back. Is this okay? We'll have like a contract. You can tell me, we'll fix it. Make sure this doesn't suck too much. What's up? So I've got a roster going around over here. If you guys could sign that roster at some point before you take a break, that'll be cool because then I can fill your cards out during the break. That way when we finish the class, you're not just standing around like, give me my stuff and leave. I'll let them sign that up, and then my plan will be just to introduce myself so you know who I am, tell you what I do, so I can have like some credibility during the class, just enough to get through, right? I have partied with several of you, and some of your coworkers, so I know I won't have too much credibility once the stories get out, but I'll introduce myself. You guys introduce yourselves. You tell me what you want to get out of the class. I'll tell you kind of what the plan is for what I talked to Forrest about, what we would make sure that you guys learn. And then we'll just get into it. It'll be a real hands-on class where I kind of show you something, I do something, and then you guys go and do it. So you won't just be sitting here the whole time. That said, there's some little like academic sections we've got to work through. So just bear with me. You can always ask me any question you want. If you've got personal experience, I want you to share it with me. So this isn't like you just sit there and hate it kind of class. You guys have chairs? What do you have? Wedge in there. All right. If you guys want to get chairs, grab them. I've got an extra chair in my truck. If somebody wants to go get that, you can borrow that. If you want to go inside and acquire stuff, if you want to sit on PFDs, if you want to pull a raft down here, whatever you want to do. What do you think? Do they look like a smart class? What do you think, guys? Good. I'm glad so many of you showed up for class. Good job. Come and find you if you don't. Has anybody had first aid stuff before? Wilderness first aid or woofer or EMT? Anything like that? EMT?
I did for nursing.
For nursing? Wow, awesome. Cool. Okay, good. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that some of you have some experience. I want to draw on that in class and try to make it more engaging. You guys, this is like my 4th year working with AVA. Super stoked to be back. I'll just kick it off if that's all right, guys. If you want to find chairs, that's cool. If you want to just pack it in here, that's cool too. If you want to sit on this thing, whatever. I got an extra chair in my truck. You guys can get. Just let me know. My name's John. I own and operate the U.S. School of Survival, and I worked with solo wilderness medicine for a long time. Wilderness EMT. I trained the Parks and Wildlife Rangers, and I've taught a program like this at like the WFA or the WFR program. I taught those at like Yale, Brown, Columbia, Dartmouth, a bunch of colleges. I volunteer for 6th graders, in Denver. Teach them survival and first aid stuff like the Denver Green School. And I've got a nonprofit called CARE, Capable Americans Responding Everywhere. And we just respond to like disaster and emergency situations around the country and the world. Wildfires, hurricanes, different types of emergencies where people need help, tornadoes, whatever it might be. And we just try to like teach people how to stay healthy, how to process water, how to handle like communications, how to make power, with the sun, all this stuff, right? To help communities be more resilient. So that's what I'm about trying to help people, trying to make our local consciousness better, for other people. And I really like to recreate in the backcountry, 4-season backcountry recreationalist. So I love being on the water. I've gone down the river, gone down numbers and stuff with you guys many times with ADA types, many times. Went to your prom a couple years ago, I think. What I remember of it was amazing. I teach you all your different outposts. So hopefully this doesn't suck. If I'm doing something that offends you at any time, or if I do something wrong, say something wrong, just tell me, right? Just adjust me like a radio, or get me on the side. Tell me what works better for you. I was in the Marines for a while too, and I did some of this stuff in the Marine Corps, and I'm SEER trained and some stuff like that. All right. I'll be honest with you guys at all times when I'm teaching the class, and just be straight up with me. That's all I ask. That's our little contract. I'll be straight with you. You guys be straight with me. Frankly, you're going to have to use some of this information while you're working here. Those of you who have the first aid, the medical knowledge, that once you start to learn more, you're like, oh shoot, I could really apply this here. Oh man, you're about to get dehydrated. You need to get some salt in you, or whatever it is. Right? Oh, your freaking ankle hurts. Let me wrap that up for you. Right? To make it better. So once you learn more, you can have a bigger impact. You can go farther into the backcountry, so you can do more longer at a higher level. And that's why I really got into this. I'll tell you more about that later when we're talking about heat exhaustion, something that happened to me in the backcountry of the Grand Canyon. I don't know if any of you guys have ever hiked down there in the backcountry. But yeah, I had like a 21-year-old female carry a 20-year-old male into my camp. And the male passes out and goes unresponsive, and the female goes, that's the second time that's happened, and then she goes unresponsive. I was just standing there like, good, I didn't really know what to do. I just had a military training. at the time. It was just like, are they alive? Are they being weak? Or are they bleeding? Like, what's going on? And I really had to get some higher level of better training to understand what was going on there and the right way to treat it. So I'll talk to you guys about that too. All right, fair enough. Fair enough on me. That's who I am. Cool. Who are you? So we're gonna go around the room. I'll put you on the spot in a minute if that's okay. But we'll just go around the classroom, whatever. Outdoor education. We'll go around the classroom in a minute, and I just want to know who you are. What's your favorite thing to do outside? Who are you? What's your favorite thing to do outside? And what do you want to get out of this class? Like at the end of the day, so that this didn't suck. What is it that you want to make sure that you learn? And I'll try to make sure you do that in the program. Cool. All right, sweet. Who the hell are you?
My name's Sean. My favorite thing to do outdoors is probably hunt. Kind of like what you said, just like to be able to understand how to help someone when I'm just out and about, like me and a buddy, like if something happens, I have a deeper understanding.
Like, yeah. Where do you like to hunt?
Here in Colorado mostly.
Yeah, all right. That's a hunter's answer. In the state of Colorado,
Yeah.
I say big, don't burn your good spots.
Yeah.
That's how I answer fishing questions too. Yeah. Just down by the river.
Yeah.
That's where I like to fish.
Most part.
Cool. All right, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Who are you?
My name is Hannah. I like to hike and forage and I guess raft now.
Cool.
It's my first time rafting with this program. And what I want to get out of this, I guess, is just how to respond in those situations.
Cool. We'll talk about that. Nice. Welcome. What do you like to forage for?
Forage, yeah,
What else?
mushrooms. I'm actually like studying herbalism, so I like to go and gather herbs.
Very cool. Colorado has a lot of that, right?
Oh yeah, everywhere. Once you know what you're looking for, you just see it all.
I'll do like this chunk first, then this chunk, then this chunk.
My name's Addison. My favorite thing to do outside, I'm gonna do a lot of stuff, but probably like backpacking.
Okay.
And I really want to like feel prepared and safe in a situation and feel comfortable and prepared to respond to something.
Good. Just have some basic awareness
Yeah.
on what to do. Okay, cool. Welcome.
I'm Katie. My favorite thing to do outside is probably snowboard or hike. And then I just want to continue working on skills.
Yeah, so are you working on your nursing degree right now? Is that what you're doing now?
I graduated in December.
Congratulations. Awesome. Lots of love for nurses. Lots of love. Anybody here ever been injured or had surgery or broken bones? Do you love nurses?
Saved
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah, we love nurses.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Nobody hates a nurse. Yeah.
Well, I was a Boy Scout, so I have a lot of experience just being a person. Things I like to do. Hiking is fun. This is skiing.
Yes.
Yeah, rafting's really fun.
Yeah.
So,
You're in the right place.
yeah, right. And I guess from learning wise, just I mean, first thing was definitely learning some job. So I guess learning situations that are
Okay. Water related.
yeah,
Emergencies. Response.
absolutely.
Roger that. Cool. Welcome. Thank you. Luke, who are you?
I'm Luke. My favorite thing to do outside is climb. And out of the day, I want to have my skills refreshed for this season. That's about that.
No, all right. We'll refresh those skills. Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm Luke as well. I've recently gotten into fly fishing a lot lately, and then I just want to learn how to respond in emergencies.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to fly fish too. First responsible. Great.
I'm Sam. I like to mountain bike. Typically, I just want to jump off
Cool. Sam, 2 days ago I was up in Leadville. Anybody ever been to Turquoise Lake or Bear Lake up out for Bud's Cabin? Well, I came on a mountain biker at nightfall, like after dusk, who was just wiped out on the side of the road in the wilderness. And he's laying on the ground with his arm up in the air, and I think he's like dislocated shoulder, fractured hand, abrasions all over his legs. He can't walk or move. He's laying on the side of the road at night, way outside of Leadville. What would the plan be? So we had a fun little emergency response on that guy. So mountain biking, a lot of stuff happens. I saw a guy who had fractured his pelvis just going over the handlebars in flat terrain, open fracture on his pelvis, and femoral artery started bleeding. And his buddies are there with their knee on their hands, fingering the wound, trying to stop it. So be careful on that bike. So. That's not a Colorado accent. Understood. Welcome to Colorado. Yeah, awesome. Welcome. Who are you, sir? Okay. Yeah. So being able to recognize what's going to happen before it happens so you can do the right thing so it doesn't suck like us. All right, roger that. Keeper, who are you? Prove it. And they will. Yeah, they do that.
I'm Sarah. I like to hike place sports. And I will learn how to think and act quickly.
Good, okay, awesome. Now come with experience and practice and repetition and training. So we'll knock some of that out today. You're welcome. Running around waving your hands in there. Alright, yeah, that doesn't help.
Can I move this tripod?
Yeah, of course.
I think
Yeah, man. I'm sorry.
I just gotta
Or
get
whatever.
I gotta get that
Sorry
boat.
to
That's all.
block your gear. Okay. Cool. What kind of first aid stuff did you have before?
I was Marine Corps as well, so TTC and whatnot.
Yeah, TCCC is a great course. Maximum combat casualty care. And you probably did the combat lifesaver course, right? That DoD program. Awesome. Good. I'm glad you had that grade. That'll definitely help you, right? Just stop. Yeah. I'm Joel. You're the crazy one. How many jumps have you done? A lot. Cool. Do you have a favorite place or favorite jump that you've done? Just the shadows across all the terrain.
Just like shadows. It's exactly how it was.
Very cool.
Yeah, the same thing.
Oh man, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. I have extra crayons. We can all stack up later. I get the cherry ones. That guy's a dog. Cool. All right, so we're glad to have a couple of days to do. To pick those out because not everybody who's doing a special work. All right. So yeah, I'm Jackson. Check out doors, play guitar, yeah. All right.
Something I'd like to get out of this class is kind of just staying calm in the chaos, like radio machines, I remember one time, and I remember the head coach, he was freaking out, and then he tried to put her tongue, push it out because he heard it would swallow and all that stuff. And later on, I found out like he didn't do the right stuff. And he was also, he got bit in his finger. Like he didn't really know what he was doing, and he was kind of freaking out too. So just being able to stay calm and know what to do in situations is always important.
Yeah, well said. Well said, Josh.
Hi, my name's Ross. I like backcountry skiing and whitewater kayaking. Kind of two things I want to get out of this: working with the ski patroller this winter, so I want to use this as like an entry point to that OC training. And the second, like more specifically for this job, is all of the stuff we do is pretty damn close to the road, but there's a pretty big steep up to that road. So just trying to figure out how to get people to a point in which like they can be picked up by headlights, because that's gonna be their best
Yeah,
option.
really good point. I mean, especially with Mike, because you know we're going to eddy out sometimes. Right? But you know you don't want to be on the water, so we'll talk about that. Yes, sir. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Yeah, let's look back there.
Ooh, slipping like that. My bad, man.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, we got you. No problem at all. No problem at all.
Hey guys, if you want to go, I gotta come do the band for the next trip out. Just go grab your chair. JT, you got to sit down. There are some pages.
Sorry that we moved right before we introduced you.
If I'm pretty easy to hand carry some stuff, make sure you get
You guys help me
that
with
way.
like
We
this?
can be efficient as well.
Oh yeah, can you help me with this? That'd be great. Thank you. Sweet, good job. That's what they see here. Thank you. No, we have a tarp. So that'll work. I think maybe just like the tripod and the camera and the random people on the live stream, talk to them. That's not mine, but it's full of beer.
live stream.
Keep that in mind. It's full of beer. All right, everybody, we're going to the back deck.
Sean, you want to talk to the internet?
Yeah.
Hi, internet.
What's up, internet? So what's happening right now? No, actually moving back to the back. That's what's up. We're gonna be.
I think you did pretty good.
Yo, there's like 185 people watching this.
Like whitetail, or do you shoot birds, or what?
Sean, do something cool.
Do something cool?
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Do a flip.
Everybody calls me Flip Flop because I'm always in flop.
Okay.
And
Where do you guys go for that?
rode down
All
the
over the
river
country?
in flip flops.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are like
Cool.
guys.
So fly away mostly?
That's what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're kind of slower walking, so. And here's the game.
I do, yeah. You know, I like catching more than I like fishing. But yeah, I like to get out there. Is where you want me up here? Awesome. I don't know. Everybody's outside. Yeah, so all right, cool. Yeah, there's one big pair on it.
So I was like, how much is this? Oh, John.
Yeah. Not at all. You put whatever you want. 183 made up lane. So we check every one of the 87 pockets before such time as I can locate it. Mostly motivation. You know. What do you think of all this pockets? This is fun. Pardon my language. I always have lunch with my brother. Yeah, I thought you guys would like it. Who else wants to sign the last one? All right. Yeah, of course. Thank you. All right, any you guys in here or what? All right, a couple hundred of you. Good to see you, visionaries. We should get more than 10,000 views on this one. This is a pretty cool place for a class. Last time it was like 12,000, I think, for the last AVA class. All right, these are all the motivated students today. Say what's up. What do you want to tell the world? What should the world know that the world doesn't know? Nothing. They know it. I don't know. I've been in traffic and thought different things. What do you think? What should we know?
Colorado's pretty cool.
Colorado's cool. If you're not out here, you're weird.
You should raft at ABA.
Yeah, you should raft here and you should tip your guides really well.
Or zipline.
Or zip line. I'm sorry. Or zip line.
Mostly raft.
But
Mostly raft, though.
But mostly rafting.
On your traffic note, don't camp in the fast lane.
Don't camp in the fast lane, people. That's freaking para pasar. Izquierda is para pasar. What do you think? What should the world know that the world doesn't know?
$80 tip is customary on rafting trips.
Tell them again so they know.
$80 tip is customary for rafting.
For rafting guides, 10-4. Take care of your guides, everybody. If you're going out with your guides, you should take care of them. And we've got some Marines in the house, so Semper Fi, brother. Good to have you. Cool. What should the world know that the world doesn't know? Devin, right?
Yeah.
Not to go in that bathroom.
All right, that counts. That counts. I'll take that. That's a little bit mean. All right, we're gonna put you guys over here. Hopefully, this will work for you visionaries. I'll try not to call you weirdos or anything this time. I know that bothered some of you last time. All right. Yeah, I know how weird you guys are. It's more accurate. See? Everybody knows. All right. Sorry, we're almost there. All right, sweet. So some of you have done this before. Some of you are saying first time some of this privilege and medicine stuff. Before we start, there's one more gentleman who we have to introduce. Yeah, all right, good. Yeah, you hid from us last time. Who the heck are you?
I'm Bryce. I got a really snowboarding and I'm going to that and I'm just trying to refresh my skills.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And that'll definitely help you with this, right? Especially with the response and sensitive stuff. That's what I'm talk about first. Before I teach you how to anybody need the roster? Thank you very much. Alright, now it's official. Alright, before I teach you how to fix problems that we come across in the backcountry, we have to talk about how to identify problems with a human being in the backcountry. Does that make sense? Right? You can't just go up and be like, oh yeah, it's broken arm and dislocated knee or whatever, right? You have to go through a medical process to collect information and put the information from your hands and other humans and put it into your brain so you can then fix the problem. Does that make sense? Alright, cool. So what I'm going to go over first, show you guys first, is how to do that figuring, how to do that analysis. That's called a patient assessment. Those of you who have some of this medical training, you have some experience there. This probably isn't going to do a lot of something. So what I'm going to do is kind of put it up on this board over here. Thank you for helping me bring this over, whoever carried that. I'm going to put it out on this board. I'm going to write it out, and then we're just going to do it. I'm going to show you how to do the assessment. And you guys are going to break off and get into this whole area, and you're going to practice it. Just try to make sure everybody's got the skills down. Does that make sense? Cool. So patient assessment skills. That's what we're about to talk about here. All right, so those of you who have had first aid, before, when you're coming up on a patient, right, the ABCs, do you remember the ABCs? Have you heard about that approach? So we're going to start with that. We're going to do, A, B, C, but then we're also going to do D. Some of you probably had D if you had the Wolfer class or whatever. Then we're going to do E. Some of you have had that if you've had the Knowles class or the Solo class or whatever. But then we're going to do F and G. All right, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. In this class, you're going to get a couple more. You're like, I'm a freaking nurse, so there's no F and there's no G. You made it up. I did make it up, yes, but it's going to be helpful. It helps me, so I think it'll help you. Really dumb sometimes, so if I can figure it out for me, I know smart people who know can figure it out, so we'll be good. We're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G today, and I'm sorry I have my back to some of you. Guys, I couldn't help you. So, those of you who have had the class before, what's that, when you come onto a scene, and I'm teasing you a little bit with this, but when you come onto a scene to an emergency situation, what's the first thing that we should always do no matter what? Yeah, kind of size up the scene, figure out what the main problem is. If we were deployed, or even here, if we're just here in the wilderness, maybe rock climbing or something like that, is there anything we would want to look for and try to ensure before we jump into rescuing people? What do you think? That's it, right? Scene safety. Really good job, scene safety. So scene safety is the first thing that we always do when we come on scene, no matter what. Really good job. Really good job. But if we're trying to figure out what the heck is going on, what is the problem here? I guess if you don't do that, you wouldn't even stop your body in the first place. You like to engage with this injured individual. I like what you're saying. You're exactly right. Scene safety is the first and most important thing. For example, if somebody is doing a climbing, right? Climbing, whatever. Person above me falls, triggers a rock fall. I need to move my body in some location where rocks aren't going to hit me in the head while I'm trying to rescue, somebody who's, right? So situation where whatever the scene is, somebody goes in the water, right? Remember, you're not a swimmer, may go down. Should I just jump in, swim through the rapids, try to save this person, right? Or should I maybe exactly throw over to them, or whatever, or get somebody on the shore to throw a rope? Some different things that we can do to ensure your scene safety. Alright, so scene safety is first, and once it's just taking a look around, alright, mostly, I think we'll say, what about potential hazards in the area? And with that said, I want to know right now, before we continue, what are some things that could potentially cause a scene safety situation in the background? Bear. Fuck yeah. So every class, I ask this question until somebody says bear. You just said it, that's like the first thing. So I'm going to keep asking. All right, what could cause a scene safety issue in the backcountry? Yes, sir. Avalanche, perfect. Avalanche, absolutely. What is it, 37.5 degrees is the most treacherous angle, right? So freaking avalanches, absolutely. Some people probably have on their ski poles, right? Like a little protractor so you can sort of see slope angles. Yep. What else can cause a scene safety issue in the backcountry? Rock slide, really good. Absolutely. Especially after natural disasters, especially on riverbanks where there's been erosion, especially like the Golden Rock or the skydiving, all that, right? Because of where and how you live. What else causes scene safety? Rivers. Yep. The terrain, exactly right. Terrain, 100%. Especially if somebody's having a seizure, like on the rock. What's the, yeah.
Other people.
Exactly.
Like,
that's the other thing I'm looking for. Tell me why.
Because if you have 15 people all trying to do with different layers of training and stuff like that, if someone had a heart attack, I'd either turn to you or her as marriage to a horrible. It's the best thing you guys would do is get me the hell out of here and make sure that I'm not interfering with you.
Go get an AED and come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Go call 911. Come back. Help me. Yeah. Yeah, really well said. Freaking drunk people are crazy sometimes. Anybody can't not live with drunk people? Anybody been in drunk people can't work this? Doctors don't make the best decisions. Yeah. So, what do you think the most dangerous thing in the background is? All things being equal, what's the most dangerous entity thing in the background? Human being. Exactly right. Human being. The way the human could be rated. Yeah, exactly right. So when you're going into these scene situations, and we're coming on a scene, my brain has a couple of algorithms that just constantly refresh. The first one is, how alive is this dude or woman, whatever? How alive is this individual? Are they getting better or are they getting worse? Are they talking to me more? Are they breathing better? Are they making weird noises when they breathe? Or are they passing about how alive are you? Answer the good question. The other one is like, how safe am I and how crazy are these people? You know, what's the crazy level on these people? What might they do? What could they do? And I'm weird, you know, I'm all Iron Man, I'm weird, you know, basically, when I do medical care, it's like, who's how weird and what are they potentially going to do to get in the way of this? You know, stuff to think about, you know, social stuff to think about as we hang out with the groups. All right, cool. So scene safety. The second thing we want to make sure we do is it's called body substance isolation or PPE, right? So I know we're out here and we're wild and free and we're healthy, which is wonderful. But if somebody has Ebola, like AIDS, or something that you don't know about that, you know what I mean? That sucks, right? So we want to take measures to protect ourselves, whether that's like gloves, or a mask, or goggles, or glasses, right, for our eyes, whatever it is that we might have to help protect ourselves. Right? We need to take steps to like protect ourselves. Does that make sense? So the first two steps, scene safety, and then your PPE are about making sure you're safe when you go to help somebody else. Because if you're just like, oh, what's going on with you? Like it's so bad that you're boom, and then you're hurt too, or whatever. You go into the room where multiple people are on the ground, like there's possibly something's in the air, whatever, right? If you walk up and that down power line now whips over and hits you, or whatever the case may be, right? So you take steps to protect yourself, then you work on your patient. Make sense? When you're handling each other, you can some gloves to get at it if you want. You're going to do a lot more touching throughout the summer, right? That's what makes it fun and wrap back there. But, you know, if you want to wear the gloves during the practice, that's cool. All right? That's encouraged. But, if I don't have gloves in the backcountry, say I've got somebody who's, you know, there's a lot of blood going up to address the bleeding, maybe with the gauze. Try to address the bleeding somehow. Hemostatic agent, bleeding. Awesome stuff. Really awesome stuff. So you're going up there, you don't have gloves. How could you improvise that? Shirt. So the shirt's good because it's something. Sock might be what with the sock. So if I want to reflect it, I can come through the barrier and I get in or something like that. What would be something I could use? Coat, yes, specifically what kind of coat? Like a winter coat that would repel water, right? Like a raincoat, especially, or any kind of waterproof jacket. Very good, that plastic material, vortex, anything like that. Exactly that. Really good job. So, you want to improvise that. Now let's begin to improvise gloves. Bag, good. What kind of bag? Plastic bag, like a Ziploc, or even a dry bag, right? Even a dry bag that works, rain gear, whatever. Part of a raft, an air raft, you know, whatever. I don't know, something. Yeah, that'll work. Use it for anyone. Alright, sweet. I figured I was going to knock it over. Alright, sweet. So, scene safety, BSI or PPE to protect yourself. And then you go into your ABCs right here. And I know a lot of you guys have to screen it. So, hit me with it. What's the A stand for? Airway. Good job. A stands for airway. And the way we check their airway is we just go up, we pop their little mouth open, and we look our eyeballs in their mouth. If they don't have a good airway, they definitely, I got it right here, but that's how we do it. Right? We literally just pop their little mouth open and look in there, and what does it look like? There's stuff in their mouth. Anybody ever been around the tarantula migration? Yeah. Yeah, tell them about the tarantula migration. Usually, hundreds, if not thousands, of tarantulas. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the big ones are going to breed, right? So they're migrating. If you're on like your campsite, you hear like a little rustling, and then you see a spider like this, and whatever, you pitch it out with a stick or something, but then like 5 minutes later, another one comes in. You sort of pitch that one out with a stick, and then another one comes, and then there's like 10. You know what I mean? Then you're camping in your truck with like the windows up, you know what I mean, in a shotgun. You're arachnophobia. You know what I mean? So let's say one of those tarantulas, let's say it's sitting on the ground, cowboy fingers. One of those tarantulas crawls into your mouth. You know what I mean? Let's say you happen to also have a seizure that night or whatever. Your friend comes to find you. You go to check your airway tarantula. Okay, so there's a liquid there. Look for the tarantula. All right? Airway. If they don't have a good airway, 2 ways to get it. The first is called a head tilt chin lift. You go with 2 fingers on the forehead, 2 fingers under the chin, and you just freaking tilt their head. Snoring is a soft tissue obstruction. So I did just talk that movie out now, right? Gross. Snoring is a soft tissue obstruction. So if you do a head tilt chin lift, it clears that soft tissue obstruction, lets you breathe. So head tilt chin lift. I know you're like, just elbow it when he's snoring. I know, or whatever. Head tilt chin lift. That's not right. Alright, so head tilt chin lift. The other thing you can do is called a jaw thrust. And a jaw thrust is when you put your thumbs right here, and then you put your fingers right down here. Alright, so your thumbs are right here, up on those cheekbones, and then your fingers go under the jawbone right there, under the mandible, right? Inside the mandible. Sure. Push and pull at the same time. You clean your jaw out like a bulldog. And if there's bad facial trauma and the jaw's collapsed back, right, the tongue is blocking the airway, that's how you do it. If you want to feel it on yourself, you can cross your hands. You just kind of pull with your fingers and push with your thumb. That's called a jaw thrust. Different than a bulldog jaw. Okay, helps people breathe. Back one, that's how you do it. Yeah, so there's a one maybe like that. Don't use a laser one because you take it's counterindicated. Alright, so A is for airway. That's how you check an airway, and that's how you make an airway if you need to. We're not going to teach you how to put your finger in the microtrachea, punch a hole with your pen, you know what I mean, and make an airway here. This is at a different class. Not this class. Microtracheotomy. Alright, so that's an A, airway. Good. What is B for? What do we do with the airway? Breathing. Really good job. Airway breathing. What I want you to do for the next 10 seconds is just think about your favorite wilderness experience of childhood. Whatever your favorite wilderness experience of childhood is, if you have one, whatever, just your favorite wilderness experience, just think about that. This is what normal breathing sounds like. I distract you, have you think about something else, just breathe normally. This is what normal breathing sounds like. If you hear anything else when you're assessing your patient, there's a problem. Okay? If it doesn't sound like this, then you've got a problem. And what's an example of like one style of breathing that's problematic? Wheezing, really good job, which is often heard when a patient has asthma or anxiety, right? Breathing really quickly. Yeah, but asthma specifically. Really good wheezing, that high pitched noise, right? And somebody might be choking on something, right? So if you're hearing noises, you've got to be like, I got a problem with the breathing, I got to fix the breathing. Never go to the next letter until you satisfy the previous letter. Does that make sense? All right, A, airway, B, breathing. C is for fever. No, it's not. That's a K. All right, what's C for? Anybody know? Circulation. Good, circulation. All right, so two things I want you to do with circulation. What's up, man? With circulation, two things. The first thing, do they have a pulse? Do they even have a freaking pulse? Are they alive? Do I even need to worry about them right now, or is it like another mission? Because do you even have a pulse? So C, I'm not checking a pulse until I'm down here. Okay, so C is for circulation. The first thing is, do you have a pulse? We're going to check what's called a carotid artery. My carotid arteries run right here, not behind my ears, and not in my trachea. They're right on the side, right by my jugular vein. So right down here, and they, when the aorta pumps the blood out of the bottom left part of my heart, the left ventricle down here pumps it out. It comes up here and does a button hook and runs down my spine and splits for my legs. But then it comes up here and splits for my arms. But then it comes up here and splits for my carotid arteries, which fuels my brain. It runs around the circle of Willis, jumps over the motor strip, drains back down the jugular vein into my vena cava, and then into the right side of my heart. You know what I'm talking about. You'll learn that later. That's just like a little tease for something. Carotid arteries right here. If you can get a pulse, annual pulse right here, palpation is medical touching to get information. Their blood pressure is a minimum. Their systolic blood pressure is a minimum of 60 millimeters of mercury. If you can get a radial pulse, it's a minimum of 90 millimeters of mercury, which means it's enough to perfuse your whole body. And perfusion is just like getting through this. So like, if you can get a pulse in the wrist or the foot, there's enough blood pressure to pump blood to all your vital organs in your whole body. And that's why that's important. If you can just get one here and nowhere else, it means it's just like the heart, the lungs, and the brain that's good. Nobody else. Make sense? All right, cool. So circulation, and then are you bleeding? Any like major or minor bleeds? You address bleeds at this time. All right. With an airway, you've got like 2 minutes until somebody passes out. If you have an airway or breathing problem, right? If you're bleeding, it's about the same. Maybe they're longer, depending on the nature of the wound. Like those femoral arteries, right? 1.5, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that, depending on the nature of the wound. That's circulation. Are you bleeding anywhere? And the way I check that is I literally put my hands like up their curls and look at my hands, right? Hey, touch yourself, whatever here, show me your hand. All right, that's gross. We got a little hair off of there. All right, but no blood. Good. You know what I mean? I want to see it everywhere. If there's blood on this person. Often, when these accidents happen, we're in the wilderness, like we're wearing a lot of layers in the winter, maybe. That can be tough. You got to put your hands up there. All right, that's circulation. Do you have a pulse? And are you bleeding anywhere? If so, address it. Dean, does anybody remember Dean who's had this training before? You know E? All right, you get E next. You'll be on E. D is for deformity or disability. And I know there are lots of different kinds of disabilities. What I mean now is like, I used to be able to do this, but now I can't do this. So maybe my shoulder's dislocated, or maybe my arm's cracked. Maybe there's an injury. So I'll say deformity or disability. This marker is just about shot to death. I'm trying to not grab it. Right? That's not up right in front of all of y'all. Very cool. All right, deformity or disability. And the way we check for that, we do 2 checks. The first check is just the critical parts of the body where an injury could kill you in like the first 5 minutes. So we check critical parts the body where an injury could kill you in the first 5 minutes. We don't care about other parts of the body. Alright, I'll get to that stuff. Like when this biker had wrecked on the side of the road, right? I'm checking his head and his neck and his chest, right? His thoracic cavity and his abdomen where all his organs are pretty much. Sorry, a lot of his organs are, like not heart, lungs, not brain, his abdomen, his pelvis, checking that really well. His femurs. He's telling me how bad his shoulder hurts. I know, I'm right back to your shoulder. No problem. I understand that hurts. Thank you for telling me that. Let me just check these areas first, because if you have like an injury here, and maybe the pain is masking it, this is something that could really sneak up on us, so I want to get ahead of it. It's usually what I tell you. I want to make sure you're okay. right? That you want like a fractured rib, a punctured lung. It's going to be an issue for me because I do a thorax thing. So we check the critical areas. Again, the critical areas are the head and neck, the chest, and you can like check a woman without invading her personal space, right? You have your hand this way, your hands down like this, and you put press and right? So respect the bikini zone in this class, all right? I know your hands are respect the bikini zone for the purposes of this class, all right? What you do on your own time is your business. Okay, so head, neck, chest, abdomen, right where my liver and my stomach and my gallbladder and my spleen and my pancreas, kidneys are, right? My abdomen, my urinary bladder, right? All that, ovaries, pelvis up here, the iliac crest of the pelvis, and then the feet. I don't care about lower legs. I don't care about the arms. Right? Does that make sense? I don't care about the feet. I don't care about the hands, whatever. All right, cool on that? That's called like a chunk check. So check the big chunks of the body first and keep pushing. Keep pushing. But once you're done with all this, come back and check everything. Right? E, what is E?
Outlines versus either extraction or acquisition.
All right, really close. For us, it's something that we've kind of talked about. We talked about it with the scene safety issues, right? Bring the whole bag over here. We'll get one that works, I promise. Sorry, everybody. We're playing stupid human tricks right here. Hopefully this won't last much longer. I apologize. All right, so it kind of goes in with our scene safety stuff. It's environment. And everyone else. So this E is environment and everyone else. What I mean by that is like this biker was on the ground with little bike shorts at night, right? As soon as a police officer got there, I kind of briefed him on the situation. He was like, "Thanks a lot." I was like, "Hey, do you have like a blanket or like some pants or something for this guy? He's wearing these little bike shorts laying on the ground. You know what I mean? I've got like a belly on. The ground is like average temperature 50, 55 degrees, something like that. His temperature is 98 degrees. The earth weighs a lot more than he does. Conduction is going to make him cold. You know what I mean? It's going to suck that heat out because it's more massive. So we got a blanket on that guy. And I didn't mess with that until I was already done with pretty much all of this stuff when the guy showed up. You know? So airway, breathing, circulation, where you're checking a pulse and looking for any bleeds. Deformity and disability, we're just checking those critical areas again. Right, and I'll show you this in just a minute, and then you guys are going to do it. Within 5 minutes, you'll be doing this. Within 5 or 10 minutes, you'll be doing this. I'll show you what it's going to do, all right? Environment. Oh, shoot, you know, the sun's in his eyes. Let's pop up a shelter. Oh, man, it's freaking snowing on us. Let's make a little shelter. You know, oh, he's shivering. Let's put a damn coat on. You know what I mean? Just use your common sense. Your analytic brain and common sense. And just do the little things to make it better, and if you can do like 3 or 4 little things, you take it up to here. You take the whole response and capability up to here. So E is environment and everyone else. F is a new one, right? You've never had F, but you've had this class. I know some of you have. Anybody guess what F is? What is it? Freaking freedom is what F is. Now, fatigue is good, right? Because fatigue makes you do what the F is. What do you do when you're tired and hungry and you're trying to remember things? You forget, right? So for me, the F is, if I'm going to curse, sorry. Fuck! What did I forget? So I go through the whole thing and then I'm like, fuck! You know, I forgot something. What did I forget? So you just go through the whole thing again, right? In your mind or physically. So F is forget. And then G is go back and fix whatever you forgot. You're probably going to forget something. At least the first few times you do this. And it's okay to do like 10 of these primary circles over and over again. If you miss something, likely the secondary circle is when you really don't kill off somebody, but take your time with this. If you do this in just a couple of minutes, get it good. All right, tag me. Sweet. So, airway breathing, circulation. Airway is most important, right? My case, you can't breathe, but after we consciously 5 minutes for me to work on breathing. If you don't have airway, you can't breathe. Okay, remember about breath sounds that I told you. Okay, C is circulation. Do you have a pulse and are you breathing at all? D is what's broken on you, right? E is, okay, is it raining or snowing, environment, let me get the sun on your eyes, that kind of stuff. I've seen a patient with a femoral artery being complaining about the sun themselves. You know what I mean? Like literally, complaining about the sun. I'm like, oh, okay, pop. You know what I mean? Now let me work on your leg. Right? Let's get this taken care of. So, E is the environment. F is forget about it. What did you forget? You know, just go back and think through it again. Did I forget something? Shoot, I really don't forget it again. And then G is just go back and do it. Go back and do it again or do whatever you forgot. Does that make sense? Alright, so I'm going to show you this. And then I want you guys to practice this in small groups. So, in order to show you this, I sort of need a volunteer. I know we're just building trust. Cool, come on. And if you want to use this thing to make like a bed, so it's comfortable, otherwise just grab some floor. It's literally a bed too. That's the easy one. I'll raise myself. All right, sweet. So, when I come on the scene, yeah, just perfect, just like you did. Perfect. So, yeah. All right. When we come on scene, can you visionaries see this? I gotta train you guys on this. All right. I don't know if you can see it. We're gonna make sure you can see it this time because I messed it up on the last class. I just like numbers are kind of down. There's a couple hundred people down. All right. You come on the scene, and what we would do. If you're from Philadelphia, anybody get from Philly? All right. Well, the two words together, good. Good. It means like 20 different things. It means like have you eaten? It means are you physically okay? It means do you want to engage with this? It means get away from here or get hit you. It means a lot of things. But I'd be like, yo, you good? A nice way to do that is sir. Hey sir, can you hear me? Are you all right? Ma'am or sir. Hey mister, can you hear me? Hey buddy. Hey hiker, can you hear me? Whatever. Call out to them. If they don't respond, your brain, remember that algorithm that I was telling you about? How messed up are they? How alive are they? That algorithm should start to click, right? Little minions should be pulling levers in your head. And you should be saying, oh, there's a problem. This dude is not responding to me when I call out to him when they appear to be injured. You know, oh, that's injured. And suboptimal. So we need to get more information. So I'm like, hey, sir, can you hear me? Are you all right? Hey, oh, shoot, this looks bad. If you're taking the ENT exam, you have to verbalize your opinion. So, hey, this looks bad. I would come down and I'm looking at the scene, just like you said, what's going on here? And if maybe he took a big fall, like off some rocks, like he was climbing or he's in a harness, or if I had, maybe he's in skiing equipment, right, and he doesn't have a helmet, maybe he's bleeding from the head, right, or striking his head or whatever on a branch. If I think there's maybe been a head injury, I'm going to stabilize his head immediately. And I could do that with my hand, or I can do it. If I'm the only respondent, maybe I'm going to be here like this, just holding his head and neck until somebody else can come and I can send them to get help. But stabilizing the head and neck is so important. That cervical spine, if we think there's been an injury. I could even do it, sorry, if I get close, with my knees, and I could check all the critical parts of the body if I held it with my knees. Additionally, I could take backpacks. And I can put backpacks, and I've already packed for a moment, please. So I can take backpacks and maybe get some padding, right, and put some shirts or something right there and stabilize his head that way. All right, additionally, I can take a bandage, put it over his forehead like a bandana, and just stake it into the ground. I can do that with the triangle bandage here, or an ace bandage. Just come across his forehead, and stake this into the ground so he can't get up, twist his head. Yes. That motion is the most dangerous motion. That flex prevention, right? So when I come on the scene, I would take some step to immobilize the spine if I thought that there was a possibility that the person injured their head, neck, or spine. Does that make sense? If data that suggests possible that there was this type of injury, then treatment. Okay? If data, then treatment, whatever, at this level. So, I made sure the scene is safe. I'm wearing my BSI, I've got my mask on, right? Everything like that. When I go to check his head, I use big bear paw hands to get information, and I'm feeling for any divots, right? Any concave or convex areas on his head. I'm looking for bruising under his eyes, right? Black eyes. I'm looking for blood coming out of his nose, coming out of his mouth. I'm looking for blood coming out of his ears. I'm looking for big blotchy bruises behind the ears back here. This is called Battles, apostrophe S, Battles sign. And that's, indicative of a lower skull fracture. Lower skull fracture, blood's going to come down, and it's going to pool right in here. You get this big blotchy, weird lake, like canyon reservoir looking bruises back here behind the ears. That means, oh shoot, I got a skull fracture from this guy. All right, or on this woman, whatever. So I'm looking for also any clear, thick liquid coming out of the ears or the nose. It's like as thick as maple syrup, but clear. And if you tasted that, it would taste sweet. You never want to taste it. Does anybody know what the fluid is I'm talking about? CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. Good job, nurse. So cerebrospinal fluid, exactly right. It goes through the arachnoid layer in your brain, and then like the juice in your spinal cord. And so if you've got that coming out, it means you have a head injury, a brain injury bad enough to rupture the arachnoid layer, which is the middle of the three layers of your brain. The membrane layers, neuromotor, arachnoid, pia motor. Good, right up those class. So it means like you really messed up. They really messed up his head. Okay? We don't want to see that. You can actually take a piece of gauze, dab it on the ear, wherever the blood is coming out, and if there's blood with that stuff, there'll be a little dot of blood in the middle and then a clear ring of CSF around it, a yellowish clear color. That's how you know that it's there. All right. Then for the neck, I just run my hands back. Feeling vertebrae. Have you ever injured your neck before? All right. Everything should feel like this. Vertebrae right in a line with a cartilage pad in between it. Spinal cord runs through the vertebrae. Okay? So everything should be in a line. If it feels like this, or like this, or like this, whatever, you feel a big lump, hey, we have a problem, right? Immediately immobilize the spine and the head. Like I was showing you. Okay? That's the head and the neck. For the chest, I just do one chest compression like this. You can see where my fingers are. My fingers are touching the deck. The palms of my hands are back here on the ribs. I'm compressing the chest that way. I'm not like pinching their nipples and seeing if they was touched. Right? I'm compressing their ribs to see if the ribs are fractured. All right? And I like nipples as much as the next person. Right? And so do the folks on the live stream. But that's not what this part of the class is about. All right? Easy to compress the chest. You just do it once, like that. For the abdomen, you just take one hand, don't fall on it. And roll it over the abdomen like that. All right? And that's going to push into the liver, the stomach. It's above where the pancreas is, the gallbladder. If there's trauma to those organs, right? The ascending, transverse, and descending colon, the small intestines, right? The urinary bladder. If there's trauma to any of those organs, when you do this, they might roll over in pain. Additionally, you might feel a very rigid stomach like this, abdomen like this. And that probably means there's been some internal bleeding. All right, so really, really rigid abdomen means internal bleeding. And I know you do your sit-ups, right? Or you run or whatever, the exercises. But the human abdomen should be like soft and compressible, right? Soft and compressible is how a human abdomen should be. If it's spasmodic, it could be a spider bite, right? It could be a spider bite. Some spider venom will do that. And additionally, it could be internal bleeding if it's very big. If it's thinking, oh shoot, it's really time life. We got helicopter. Right? That's the abdomen. So head, neck, chest, abdomen. We're on the pelvis here. The pelvic girdle can hold like 3 liters of blood. You've got like 5 or 6 liters of blood in you. Right? So internal bleeding in this area can cause death. So I compress the pelvis in and then down. And I'll tell you right now, a couple of weeks ago, responded to a situation where a guy fell off a fire truck. Right? While the fire truck was doing donuts, he was dancing on the fire truck. You know, the fire truck came to be doing donuts. He came to fall off of the fire truck and, landed on the ground. And so I assessed him, and I had his pelvis there, like, I squeezed in, I squeezed down, I checked his femurs here real good. We hopped him up, he stood up, and later on, he ended up having microfractures on his pelvis, where the head of his femur hit real low down here. And, like, I didn't take the time out because my training was always like in, down, because the pelvis can fracture open like a book, right? That's what the training is. I didn't palpate all the way down on the pelvis. And when I stood him up, he was like, okay. And we may have had some stuff on board. You know what I mean? Like the party that day. So I had a little bit of a feeling. Yeah. Right? But when, hey, you went and got the x-rays, microfractures here. So I made that mistake because I didn't check all the way down, and he didn't really indicate pain for me. If he did, I would have spent a lot more time in that area. Then I was kind of pissed off at it. So that was like my fault, because he danced on a fire truck who created an emergency situation that I was trying to fight and get fixed up. And so I was like less patient as a provider than I should have been. And that was my fault, right? Additionally, they came back and said fractured tailbone. Now, never once in any of my classes have they said you palpate that ass, right? Ever. Name one. I don't know if I've taken Whooper classes and WAT courses on taught those courses, and we've never gone into you need to check the tailbone as well. And so from now on, we're going to teach you check the tailbone, but you do it with your forearm. Just kind of push it into their butt. You know what I mean? And see if there's pain in there. Use your forearm so you're not putting your hands in their butt or whatever. You know how some of you guys like butts. I did it in every ABA class. We'll talk about it later. There's some guys in Kremlin, let me tell you. I'll tell you about it later. Yes, sir. Yeah, we would roll them over, for access. We can also check the kidneys and the spine when we do that, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Really good question. Really good question. Right. Now, if there is a spinal injury, there is a way that we can safely roll them. It is possible to do. Using a log roll methodology, especially if we have multiple people. And I'll show you that as well. But really at this level, if I think somebody has a head, neck, or spine injury, exactly like you're saying, Jackson? Ross, I'm sorry. Ross, is there a Jackson here? Sorry, man. All right, we both have long hair and hats on. Sorry, man. My bad. All right, Ross and Jackson. At this level, we should probably be stabilizing them there, mobilizing them in place if possible. Now, if we're on the river, something like that, we need to make a move. I'm just trying to make moves. That's the abdomen, that's the pelvis, and then this is the femur. So just right down. It takes more than a ton of force to fracture a femur if that happens. The leg muscles, the quadricep and the hamstring is going to be going nuts. Right? They're going to be trying to close back on bone hamstring. That's going to make them spasm, go nuts. So you'll know if there's a fractured femur. You'll be screaming in pain as well. Very, very painful. Horrible painful. I'm screaming right away. It's exactly the class. Right? That's the primary assessment. That's our first thing that we do. I'm not worried about feet and lower legs. I'm not worried about the hands and the wrists right now. I'm just like, hey, if you have an injury to a critical part of your body where an injury will kill you in 5 minutes. If so, I'm going to find it right now. I'm going to fix it right now. All right? That's the D. So I would come up and I'll be like, A, all right, airway. Good. All right, B, breathing. For breathing, I put my ear right by the mouth so I can feel him breathing, so I can see the chest rising and falling, and I put my hand on his diaphragm. That way when he breathes, if he moves, there he goes, boom. The diaphragm moves. Diaphragm is the muscle right at the bottom of your lungs in your chest cavity. It's right here. And when I breathe, it goes in and out. This muscle right up here, technically in your chest cavity. Now you see my belly button, you freaks. Anybody have a really big belly button? Like a 2-finger belly button? I've seen them. I've seen them in these classes. I've seen a 3-finger belly button before. Yeah, it's like an exhaust button. All right. Yeah, good idea. I can put my glasses right here and see if my glasses fog up. right? And be like, oh, okay, good to go. Or I'm here, really good job. Any of that is good. I always want to try to look, listen, and feel during my assessments. At all times, I want to look, listen, and feel. So for A, I just break open the airway and look, good. For B, I'm looking for chest rise and fall, listening for breathing, and I'm feeling the diaphragm. That's B. For C, okay, do you have a pulse? Yeah, he's got a pulse. And now, like, are you bleeding anywhere, right? Are you bleeding anywhere? You're looking for blood. Look at the blood, right? Reaching up close. Look at the blood. That's C. D is just what I showed you. The head, the neck, the chest, the abdomen, the pelvis, and the femurs. E, environment. Oh crap, the sun's in his eyes. Let me use my belly to like block the sun, make a little tent. Okay? E, F. What did I forget? Right? What did I forget? Nothing yet. G, go back and do whatever you forgot. Alright, so this is just a primary assessment. Do you think you can do this? Do you have any questions about this? Alright, sweet. Thank you very much for your help. Oh, okay. Invitation palpated, yeah. If she's doing your femurs, just tell her higher next time. Make sure you get the femoral head. Okay, good. Alright, so what I want y'all to do now, please, is just to grab a partner. Some people are like a little bit more introverted, like they're uncomfortable getting a partner and saying, hey, will you work with me? Get over it. No, just let me know and I can tell them like, put you guys a partner. But if you're more outgoing, maybe just ask somebody if they'll be a partner. Let's get in groups of two. Let's just hold that and show me this primary survey, please.
You want to go down first? Or you want me to go down first?
That's what a real friend asks. You know, a friend in college who would ask me this grace. Anybody not have a partner?
Hey! Hey! You're lying!
No problem, you good?
All right. I mean, there's things that we do in the hospital, like her circulation goes. If you have dead pulse down here, like not this one, that means you probably have like an endless life. Hey, are you all right? All right.
All right. Are you guys enjoying this? Are you having a good time in class today? Rhonda G, thanks for being in the chat. Black Wolf, thank you for being here. Great to see you guys. Thank you, M, so much for being in class. I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, we've got a great class. Everybody's being awesome. They're smart, and I love working with the RAF guys because they're cool, too. They're smart and they're cool. There's a beautiful river right here behind us. So it's been great to just do some training here with these guys. Awesome people. We're all practicing the primary assessment right now. Hey, Nicole, great to see you. I'm so glad that you're here, Nicole. M, thank you again. Rhonda, thank you. Thank you so much to the mods for keeping that channel online. Good, she's compressing the pelvis. Good job. What is that big rig? Oh, sorry, excuse me. My feet are too long on this thing. How you doing? Are you guys crushing it or what? Do you have any questions or anything? All right. Do you have any questions or anything like that? Man, they've got it. These veterans have it down. Yeah. Cool. Good. They're working hard over here. Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything I can answer for you? All right. You're like, shut up and get me through the class. Yeah. Good job on circulation. All right. In the chat. Put it in the chat. Ask your question one more time. I want the answer in the chat, guys.
On circulation, do you check for a pulse or is it just for blood?
Really good question. Awesome question. On circulation, yes, we do check for a pulse. Just run 2 fingers right here on the carotid artery, and it's like, do you have a pulse or not, dude?
And what were you saying about the blood pressure, like the 60 millimeters?
Good, yeah. So, all right, let me flip these knuckleheads around, and I'll tell you. All right, people. So, question was, we were talking about blood pressure. What's the difference between 60 and 90? Well, if you could get a pulse right here on the carotid artery, that means the systolic blood pressure is a minimum of 90 millimeters of mercury. All right, which is like low. If I have a 90, or if I have a pulse here in the wrist, a radial pulse, it means I have a systolic blood pressure of 90 millimeters of mercury or more. Same for my foot. Yeah, usually. They'll say, so the Army will say over 100. The people that I've heard, they say 90. I just give you the low number. Yeah. And but you're right. I've heard 110. I've heard 100 for the dorsal pedal pulse up here, or you said the ankle, which is the posterior tibial artery pulse. Yeah, 100%. That's a really good place to check. You can just reach your fingers right in the boot, right? Especially for lower leg injuries to see if there's blood. But my point is, if you could get a pulse in somebody's wrist or on somebody's foot, your blood pressure is good. It's good. You know what I mean? It's enough to get blood to their whole body, which is good. If you just have a neck pulse or just have a femoral pulse or just have a brachial pulse, it's lower. It's important because if somebody's having chest pain, we might give them nitroglycerin, like help them take their medication, which is called nitroglycerin. It's a vasodilator, makes their veins, their arteries huge. But you can't give that to them unless their blood pressure is 100 millimeters of mercury. So it's like 90 is 100. 110, you said 90, I say. So that's why we would check in the field that, or like if they have an injury in the arm, I'm going to check here to know if they have enough blood pressure to like get to their fingers. Say again? Should the wrist one feel like stronger here? No, the neck is going to be the strongest one you can get. The wrist is going to be less strong, especially going to be less strong if you've ever broken it, and it's going to be less strong if you have what's called Raynaud's syndrome. And a lot of women have Raynaud's syndrome, which is just chronic vasoconstriction in the hands and feet, so they're cold a lot, and it's harder to get a pulse on them a lot of times. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry, but another easy way to think about it is like, think about what's closest to your heart. When the first thing that you're going to have that strongest pulse right at that neck, and then further away it's going to get a little bit weaker. And then further away it'll be a little bit weaker.
Exactly right.
It just means that the heart's it's using extra energy to push the blood down to those areas.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a squared away Marine right here, everybody. Cool. All right. Did you guys get that in the chat, or are you being dumb? You're being smart. Good job. All right, cool. All right, any other questions? All right, sweet. Fair enough.
Yeah, all I do is my roommates. Yeah.
All right, are you guys doing okay in the chat? You having fun? You learning something today? All right, I hope so. Do your best to keep it like somewhat appropriate, in there. Thanks for hitting the like button. Really appreciate you guys being in the class. All right, cool. You got that down? Everybody have that down? I'm going to have to jump right back up. We'll take a short break. Let everybody going around, talk, go to the bathroom, and then we'll come right back and get through it. Okay? Next thing I'm going to show you is that detailed patient exam. All right, that detailed patient exam. I'll make sure you get on the roster if you've already signed that. That's what I've been sitting here thinking about.
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is the detailed patient exam. I know we're still building that trust, but can I get a patient to show you the detailed patient exam? Sweet. Come on. All right, sweet. Thank you, brother. All right, and just yeah, same thing. Supine, kind of unresponsive skydiver. Yeah, all right. It's a possible thing, right? Oh shoot, this dude fell out of an airplane. It's gonna suck for him. It's definitely gonna be not good for this guy. Also, he's gonna show us a crumple too. Yeah, crumple is fine. Well, yeah, I was gonna talk about it in a minute with you guys, but if you get to a position where your patient's all crazy crumpled up like this, right? And we need to decrumple the patient, that's fine. You want to do it in the most gentle way possible, and you want to move everything in the anatomical direction. I'm not going to take this and try to get it behind his shoulder to come back over here, right? When I am going to support the point of attachment, I'm very gently going to try to extend and then rotate and come down, right? I'm very gently trying to realign my patient. Controlling the point of attachment. If I meet any kind of resistance, right, I'm going to stop. If things don't move the way they should, I'm just going to stop. Like I might try to move his arm and it just sticks. Oh, shoot, okay, I'm going to leave it right there. Maybe his shoulder is dislocated, maybe his humerus is broken. I'm going to get to that when I get to the arms. Okay, and that's what my brain says. Oh, something messed up with the left wing. You know, we're going to come back and check that in a minute. And then we just keep going. Okay? And I talk to myself like that, like a dummy when I'm doing this stuff. I say things to myself so I don't forget. Works mostly with me. You know, I've missed things before, like I told you about with the guy on the fire truck. I messed that one up, so I use it in the training. Make sure I I'm sure you guys can learn from my mistakes. So if the arm does move, I would send it down by his side. Just like this. Bring it back down. Now the goal of the secondary assessment is to find everything. Find everything wrong with the person. Physically is really what we're going to be working on here in the first aid level. If you were doing a woofer course with me, we'd be like getting vitals, we'd be getting medical history, right? We'd be asking questions about allergies, right? All this stuff. For the purpose of this class, I'm going to show you what we do on the physical stuff, on the detailed patient. Is that really stuff? Are you guys trying to move inside, or?
Let's see how bad it gets.
Let's see how bad it is. I'm with you on that one, right? So, we start with the head, and I would take the hat off, right? I'm looking for, and I do that big compression again, but I'm looking for any blood in the hair. I'm looking for a squared away haircut, which I found. Good to go. Right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine. I want to check his ears for like blood and battle sign and CSF, but I would never take his head and just twist his head over, right? You might have a head or a neck injury. So I need to move my whole body to check his ears. All right? I need to move my whole body to check his nasal cavities. I need to, all right, check everything. So when I check the head, I'm also going to go around orbital and zygomatic bones. I'm going to check the maxilla and the mandible. I'm going to see if the nose is intact, right? I'm looking for any pop knots, right? Any swelling or bruising on the head. And I'm listening for what's called precipice, which is bone ends kind of crunching and moving on each other. Sounds like Rice Krispies when you squeeze it, right? The neck, same thing. It's like a massage almost. For the chest this time, I do 2 compressions. Instead of 1, I do 2. 1 high up on the ribs, 1 low on the ribs. All right? Does anybody know how many ribs we have? Almost. 32. How many ribs do we have? Is it different for men and women? Put it in the chat. How many ribs do we have? And is it different for men and women? 12. 12 on each side. And little nubbers down here. Yeah, they all connect into the spine and come up and connect into your sternum with cartilage. Except the 2 little nubbers on each side. That's what it's back here. All right? Little nubber ribs. Yeah, little nubbers. Good. So we check the ribs high and low. For the abdomen, what I want you to do is imagine a crosshairs or a graph chart, X and a Y axis through the belly button, through the umbilicus. And instead of just rolling that one hand like we did in the primary, now we're going to check each of the 4 quadrants. All right, because this quadrant is where the liver lives. This quadrant is where the stomach and the spleen live. This quadrant, right, is where I have ascending colon. And I have appendix. On this side, descending colon, right? Urinary bladder is in the middle. Pancreas is in the middle of the back. Kidneys are like right up here, but in the back. So this is how I find out, right, where that vein is and which organ might be affected. On the pelvis, I go in, down, and then really check that pelvis if you think it's possible that there's any kind of pelvic trauma, right? For the femurs, yeah, check that pelvis. For the femurs, right down here, yes.
So when you do the hand roll, what do you specifically look for?
Distension, rigidity. Really, really rigid or soft and compressible. I'm also looking for, great question, I'm also looking for, does my patient respond in pain? All right? Maybe I felt something. You know what I mean? Right. Sometimes if they're out cold, if they're unresponsive, great question. Sometimes a little pain brings them back. Sometimes pain brings them back, that reminds me, we could just put it up here. Let me just flip this one real quick, flip it and reverse it. All the pain is on a chart, an AVPU scale. So you're like alert and oriented, which is like us right now, or you're V, verbal, which means I'm like, yo, and you're like, what? And then we're like, okay, everything's cool. And I'm like, hey, are you okay, Marie? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. Like, oh, okay, I'm fine. It's verbal. P is pain. That's when I come up to the patient, maybe I could give him a little bit of a tricep pinch or a sternal movement, or a tricep pinch to try to induce a painful response. When I first come on scene, that's what we need to do. So that's painful, and then U is unresponsive. And then dead is down here. But this drops off after AVPU. All right, does that make sense? So if they're just unresponsive, maybe I could get them from unresponsive to painfully responsive. And then from there, maybe I could talk to them and get them verbal. And then from there, with treatment, I can get them A&O. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, so that's pelvis and femurs. For the lower leg, I'll feel one lower leg, and then the other. I want to check a pulse in each foot. Or I want to, if they're awake, be like, oh, okay, gas pedal for me, buddy, good job. All right, pull back on my hand. All right, great job. Now I'm testing the ankle. You know what I mean? So I want to confirm that they can work and that there's blood flow to all of their extremities. So when I come back to check the shoulders, I slide one hand under, one hand on top, and I'm feeling for like the ball of the arm of the humerus up here or back here, dislocated shoulder. That's what I found on that mountain biker. Big knob right here, anterior dislocation. Big knob where it's not supposed to be. You can point the finger, there's no bone there. And you pop the finger right into the big shoulder, which is weird, But I'm feeling for that on one side and then the other. So I can compare. To the humerus and biceps and triceps, right? Down here, good. You really have 2 hands, but I feel these 2 bones out of place or broken. And does he indicate that that's where the pain is? This is wrist work. This is elbow work. Yeah, so when you're palpating the bones, you'll either feel a point, right, like where a bone has come up, or the person's going to be in so much pain, they're going to be like holding it and guarded. And you feel up here, and you're like, any pain here? They're like, no. And you're like, any pain here? And they're like, a little. And you're like, any pain here? They're like, yeah! Right there, they tell you. You're looking for like 2 elbows, right? Or you're looking for massive swelling. Or you're looking for discoloration. Or you're looking for like a lot of rigidity where it's not supposed to be there in a soft tissue. Or you're looking for a bone and maybe poking against the skin. Or you're looking for maybe bones that have come out of the skin as well. Really good question. Very good question. Yes, ma'am.
What if it's really cold and they have a lot of layers on them?
Yeah, they get stripped down. Great question. If it's really cold and they have a lot of layers, layers have to come off. We don't want to destroy their clothing because we're going to have to put it back on so they don't get hypothermia. Right. So at our level, I would immobilize them. I would immobilize the head, neck, and spine. I would get them on a backboard or an improvised backboard, or I would get them on the beach, steady them out, and have somebody holding their head and call an ambulance. Call CPW and call an ambulance right away. While somebody holds their head the whole time, keeping their spine secure. You know what I mean?
So
Holding
if
it.
there's a spinal injury, you just focus on that.
Yep. And you don't worry about the rest. That's a big deal if you have any kind of spinal stuff. That's what you work on. And hopefully you have a wolfer or a nurse or somebody who can help like patch up little abrasions and things. But somebody is holding that patient steady. Yep.
And that, we're all on the road, like our whole family is connected to the road. When it comes to like calling 911, that I feel like that's kind of like checking all the stuff and checking certain things. I feel like that might help, but most scenarios should just be stable. If they're unresponsive, just stabilize and call 911 and wait.
Yeah, call 911 right away, stabilize them, and go through this assessment to try to find out what's wrong with them so that you might be able to take steps to like keep them alive until rescuers get there. And that's the goal at this level. Notify rescuers, call 911, and figuring out what's wrong and kind of like providing some help until help gets there. That's really the goal for this. Really good question. All right. I don't think, and also for the hand, for checking the pulse, if I don't want to check it on the wrist right here, I can just squeeze off a fingertip. Right? You'll see all the color in the fingertip go white. And then I let it go and you see the color come back. Right? You can do it on your own fingernail unless your nails are painted. You can do it on your own fingernail. It's called capillary refill. It should happen in like 3 seconds. All right? And that's how you can tell if they're getting blood. And you want to know if they're getting blood in all 4 extremities. Okay? Are you getting enough circulation in all 4 extremities? Or is there like a broken arm here that's pushing on the artery, which makes it so that you can't get a pulse in the wrist? Something like that. It was doing really logical thing going on. Right, does that make sense? So that's like the top half of the person. Then we go to roll them over, if that's okay. And so what I would do is I would raise this inboard arm. And so this is going to block the negative space between the ground and his head. So when I roll him, his neck doesn't flop down like that, all right? That's going to be like a pillow for his head. You always want to control this arm. Because if you just roll him, he's going to tag you in the nuts or whatever. Every time you're going to get tagged in the jump. So just control the arm by placing it right here on the body. Especially if the person is bigger than you. You can cross the leg towards you. See how I'm putting all of the body towards me. Ergonomics, right? And then on 3, I'll roll you. Grab some fabric here. 1, 2, 3. I roll him about 3/4 of the way over. So if he vomits, it's going straight down. He's not choking on the vomit, right? I have my knees as like a platform, a work surface. Now I can check his spine all the way down. I can check his kidneys. And I can check his tailbone, sorry buddy, with my forearm. Just press on that. Never been taught that in class. But then I had a patient with a fractured tailbone, and I'm like, why the hell didn't I find it? I'm like, every class I've ever taken, they don't say touch that ass. They never say it, right? Probably because somebody gets sued in the class or whatever. But use your forearm and palpate that tailbone, which is right up here under where his belt is. I believe that. All right? So that's called a log roll. That's what you do when a patient is choking. That's also how you flip them over to check their background and the detailed exam. Does that make sense? All right, cool. Show it to me. Thank you, sir. Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much for volunteering. All right, cool. Show me. Go, show me the whole detailed patient exam. Good job. Good.
Hang your legs. Push down the floor. Up on the floor.
Yeah, you can do that, but basically you gotta check all the arms and check all the legs. There's no distance.
And let's pull you over straight, straight to the pitch. Fine. Go over.
They can do that, but you're not a pulse. You can do it. Yep, good. You can check the wrist. Good.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, you were good. How are you feeling?
Alright, you're waking up now.
Oh, your butt is big. You are good.
I can't see the pulses in.
Also, like throw your hand like that.
Now you're way.
Yeah, what's your Good roll. Good, checking the ribs twice. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. I'm really glad you guys are all in the chat. You're having a good time? These guys are doing an awesome job checking their patients out. Really proud of everybody in the class.
It's an earwax.
A little bit of earwax was found over here. All right. Sorry, guys. I know you're probably getting dizzy. I'm just trying to tighten you on this mount. Yeah, it's a big class today. Yeah, they're awesome, though. Sorry to spin you guys around so much.
Oh, thanks.
I don't think I've been cursing today. Do I owe money for the swear jar? I don't think so. They came and brought me a swear jar. And they make me put money in it when I curse. They're keeping an eye out for me.
It's like alive.
Yeah, it's alive. It's on YouTube. It's
okay.
X-ray vision. Yeah, they're real cool people on the chat. Oh gosh, all right. Maybe I did. I'm sorry about that. Thank you everybody for being here. Thanks for joining the class. Hopefully you get some information that you can use in your life. I hope you don't ever have to use it, but if you do, I hope you know how to do it. Oh, okay, Eric and Doris was cursing at the phone. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that, Ann. I know I spun you guys around a lot. What is the temperature there? I don't know. What do you think it is?
I just checked. It's 45.
45? 45 degrees, the nice young lady says over here. I believe her.
Yeah, I just checked.
45, okay.
Trust Google that, or Google weather.
Yeah, if we trust Google.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, cool. We've got another Marine in the class. Cool. Hey, good to have you here, brother. There's actually two Marines in the class. The gentleman straight ahead on the left with the hood on in the background and the jeans with his hands in his pockets. He's a Marine. And there's another guy over here in I think the yellow hat in the background who's also a Marine. So we have lots of Marines in the class right now. Let me tell you. Yeah, beautiful place for a class. I think they're doing a great job. I'm motivated by this class for sure. It's starting to rain on us a little bit, so that'll probably affect their motivation. We might have to go inside. She's laughing. She's like, yeah, it's going to suck. We're all going to be in the rain.
We're out here on the water in the rain, so.
It's all about getting wet. Yeah.
That's the thing.
matter what, all of our patients are going to be wet. So.
That's right, especially when I'm rescuing them. All right, here we go. That's inappropriate. You guys can still see the river now. All right. Yeah, 10-4, 10-4 there, Pop. Yeah, a couple Marines in the chat too. They're like, hey, way to go. You know, it makes me proud to be a Marine to see all this. So, yeah. I was like, hey, we've got more in the class too. That guy never learned the, this is on YouTube right now. Yeah. I think we got 10 or 12,000 views on the last first aid class we did. Well, that mean they don't like it. Just thought I'm trying to get you out, you know. How do you guys go with this stuff? You okay with this? Yeah. Do you have any questions? All right. How do you have to? You can have it ask me. Yeah. How do you ask me? How do you have it? Yeah. 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 We'll reach around. We'll reach all the way around too. Yeah.
Like either paralyze or kill. Sure. Okay.
No, that's really? Yeah. So, for mine, we got a little kid.
That's what I was like. Have you shot about Let's
Whatever, you know.
Yeah. Right.
How to treat it? We're going to treat the whole thing. We're going to cover the whole thing tonight. You guys, especially up in Kremlin, like there was like 4 inches of snow. It snowed like that day. I stayed in the snow. I woke up, there's like 5 inches of snow on my truck. Yes, we got the little ice and the horses on foot the other day. It's like, hey, it's all snow.
Yeah. So
there's call. I know, it's like, I'm like, let's talk about this. Yeah.
no, yeah, I was just I wasn't no, that was fine, but like I was like literally I was just trying not to move because I wanted to just yeah. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody will get into it. Yeah, if you have it, that'd be great. Oh, you guys want to do a quick break? Cool. What time is it right now? In America, Colorado. Oh, yeah. 11:42. All right. You guys want to come back in like 10-0? Just do a quick break. Do an 8-minute break. So 8-minute break. 11:50. Right here. All right, bring in motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are motivated. I like you guys. Yeah, you guys are pretty cool. Oh yeah, sorry. Very nice to the customers. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome. I hope you have a good trip. Don't go swimming. All right, how's it going, everybody? We have the mountains and the trees behind us. Cool. All right, they're on a little break real quick. All right, you know how it is when I'm trying to like control something. I knock you all off a line.
Oh yeah.
Here they are. Oh shoot! Did I lose the chat? Come on! Don't tell me I lost the chat.
Oh, there you go.
No, the chat's supposed to be in here. I lost it.
Yeah.
Crap. Sorry guys, I lost your chat. I'm gonna try to back out of this and come back in. Usually it's just like this whole section over here. People are coming through. They'll cycle through. You know.
All right.
Sorry guys. I'm gonna try to wake this thing up. I'm glad that you're here. This is where we're doing the training. I just a little bit of an issue where I can't see the chat anymore. This happens from time to time. I've gotta troubleshoot that. It sure is frustrating when that goes down. This gentleman's super squared away guy. Not only does he have a throw bag, but he also has a tourniquet.
Yep, right on the guide belt.
It's exactly where it should be. Really good job. You think they're trout in this river?
What?
So do you think they're trout in this river?
I just think you think I could drown in this river.
No, you could definitely drown. Yeah.
You don't want to eat them though. That's
This guy goes, you could definitely drown. Yeah, I don't know about the trout, but
Yeah, I don't know about the trout. I think I've seen people fishing here before, but you can't. Whatever you catch, you shouldn't eat.
I believe that. All right, everybody, I'm going to try to open this one back up again. I appreciate y'all being in the chat. I'm just going to try to like back out and then jump back in because I can't pull this chat up. How did we do? Are you still there? All right, good.